This small piece of land in the Indian Ocean once had a fitting name: the Isle of Sand. Less than a square kilometer in size, it became the grim setting where nearly 100 enslaved people were abandoned and left to survive for 15 years. It all began on July 27, 1761, when French captain Jean de Lafargue set sail on the ship Lutil. He was transporting 160 Malagasy men, women, and children illegally purchased in Madagascar with the intent to sell them as slaves on the island of Mauritius. Just 4 days later, on the night of July 31st, strong winds pushed the ship off course onto the reefs near a small island known then as the Isle of Sand. The ship, never designed to carry slaves, became a death trap. Malagasy people were locked below deck, and when the vessel went down, most, unable to escape, drowned. Out of the 160 slaves aboard, only about 60 survived the shipwreck. Those who survived found themselves stranded on a tiny patch of sand surrounded by coral reefs with no shade, no fresh water sources, and little vegetation except for a few bushes. In the first days, the crew dug a well and built a forge using parts from the wreckage. They established 2 separate camps, one for the crew and one for the slaves. They ate whatever they could find, mostly birds, crabs, and turtles that nested there. Over the next 2 months, the crew managed to build a small boat from the remains of the Lutil. On September 27th, the French crew left the island and promised the 60 Malagasy survivors they would return to rescue them. After reaching Madagascar, the governor refused to send help. At the time, France was in the 7 Years' War with Britain, and no resources could be spared to rescue the stranded people. Despite multiple requests, the Malagasy slaves were abandoned. Most people died within the first few months after the crew left. Those who survived built makeshift shelters out of coral and rocks, with basements and a lookout tower to watch for passing ships. Some of them tried to escape on a raft, but they were never seen again. There were several failed rescue attempts over the years. At one point, a sailor passing by even swam to the island, only to be left behind when his ship couldn't approach due to bad weather. Finally, in November 1776, Captain Tromelin of the French ship Dauphine reached the island and rescued the remaining survivors, 7 women and 1 8-month-old baby boy. The story of the stranded Malagasy is both tragic and extraordinary. They were treated as cargo, left behind when it wasn't profitable to save them. But they defied all odds, surviving in an environment that should have claimed their lives within days. Today, the island is called Tromelin Island, named after the man who rescued the survivors. It may bear the name of the man who saved them, but the legacy of those who were left behind should never be forgotten.